Yo, what's going on, everyone? This is
Yo,
Jeff
yo.
at Geek Driven. We are here for an episode of Week in Geek, and we are back. I know we've taken a quite a hiatus. I have
Mhm.
been out with some medical issues, but we are here again,
We're back.
and I can't wait to talk about catching up with all the news that's been going on. And
True that.
but
True.
before we get started, Charlie, how are you doing?
Pretty good, man. I mean, like you said, we've been in hiatus for a while. We've been keeping this we always talk about the news amongst each other, but I was like, you know what? It's time to actually share this news to our fellow people out there. So yeah, I'm glad to be back, glad to be here, and I'm glad to just see what's going out there in the world, man, with the pop culture and all that good stuff. So let's get at it.
Yes, for sure. I have no idea where my list is now. But before we get started, let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Of course, we've got our friends over at Cover Price. If you want to get 30 days of unlimited Cover Price for only 99 cents, all you got to do is type in the code Nerdvana14, get those first 30 days free. Go check out the value of your comics. What's the hot list going on? What's being purchased right now? And that pretty much gives you a good idea of your, keep track of your collection as well. And so, yeah, go check them out. We all have it. And we love it. All right. And then you go over to Bird City Comics, our pals over there, and you can get 10% off your purchase by typing in the code TNH10. Go get your store exclusives, your incentives, some toys, just all that nerd stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, if you want to protect all of those toys and nerd stuff, you go over to displaygeek.com. You can get 10% off your first purchase by typing in the code Team Nerd Herd. And then, of course, we got to give a shout out to our four horsemen. We've got Santu Rude 1. We got Something Wong at The Anime, etc. And Glenn 2K12 from across the pond. Glenn? I hope you tune in and watch. We are going to talk about some Superman legacy stuff.
We are. Yes, we are.
And then, of course, we got our DJ at Beats by Monster Eddie. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you. Go check him out on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then we got to give a shout out to our chat here. Of course, GTQ Comic is first, always first. And then we've got
has a record.
Kenneth Bird. Bird is a word over in Virginia, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Kenneth, for tuning in. And so, do you want to get started here?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, let's
jump in.
Let me try to get this. I haven't done this in a while.
I know, right?
Let's see, share screen. And then we've got this. All right, let's see if this works out. All right. Can you guys see this?
Yes, I can.
All right. So thank you, Alonzo, for creating the thumbnail. I appreciate it. Looks great.
Thanks, buddy. Looking good.
All right. So let's get started with our first news. Of course, we're catching up with Superman Legacy. The last time we talked about the Week in Geek, we talked about the casting for Superman, Lois Lane. We even talked about the Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, Mr. Terrific. I can't remember who else we talked about, but there's been a lot of casting for this movie. This movie is going to have a ton of characters in it.
Oh yeah.
And as the first movie for the new DCU, I expect no less. You have to introduce all these characters into the world, this whole world build, and of course, we've all heard that Nicholas Hoult has been casted as Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
I need to get these names right here. Then we have Skylar Gisondo. He is Jimmy Olsen.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a villain / anti-hero. Let me see if I say her name right. Maria Gabriela de Faria. Did I say that right?
Okay.
That sounds
de
right.
Faria? Sounds right. That's pretty good.
She is the engineer from the Authority.
Okay.
And then we have Sarah Sampaio. And she is going to be playing Eve Tessmacher.
Lex Luthor. Tessmacher.
Tessmacher.
That's a classic.
So yeah, it's this they're building up a cast here. What do you think so far of all these castings?
Oh man, you know what? I think it's awesome, and I'm glad they're bringing out a lot of characters out the gate because this is DC. They're gonna reboot the DC universe, obviously, and bring in these characters. I mean, especially the guy I call him Renfield because I remember that's the last movie I saw him. The guy up there with Lex Luthor. I think that's a
Yes,
good casting because he plays a. I think he could play a good intellectual
hmm
maniac. You know what I'm saying? Like he knows his stuff, but he goes overboard. But he
I
needs to
think
be so.
Nicholas Holt is definitely a character actor.
Mhm.
He definitely has the chops.
Yeah.
He's mostly been, I would say, on the protagonist side of most movies.
Yeah, that's true.
But the depth of his acting, I think he can pull off a Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they went younger
Hmm.
because there was all these talks about older actors becoming Lex Luthor, and I was just like, that just means you're already telling the audience that this guy's a one or two done kind of villain,
Right.
Whereas since he's a younger character, a younger actor, he can grow with the protagonist as well, and throughout the whole DC universe. So I can't wait for that. And how
Yeah.
about the others?
Yeah, that Jimmy Olsen, that actor, I've seen him somewhere before, dude.
Yes.
I mean, I think he played it perfect. He even has the freckles, the hair. Look at
Yeah,
it. That's like
the
an actual
freckles
shot.
are absolutely perfect.
That's an actual shot of the guy, dude. That's amazing.
He was in that vacation movie. Like they try to reboot the National Lampoon's Vacation. I think he was the kid.
Okay. Gotcha.
So yeah, like he's been in a bunch of little movies and shows. He's there's a show I watch on Max. The Righteous Brothers, or no, the Righteous Gemstones.
Okay, the Righteous
And
Gemstones. I heard about that.
he
Okay.
plays the son of or the grandson of oh god, what's his name? The guy he played in the Connors. He's the dad.
Goodman, John Goodman.
Yes.
Okay.
He's John Goodman's grandson in that
Okay.
show. So and he's actually really good in that show.
Good. So that means he'll do good on this then, hopefully.
I mean, that's like spot on like casting right there.
It is. That's a good one, dude. That's like a mirror image right there. So I like that. And was it Ticklemocker? What was it?
Eve Tessmacher?
He's Tessmacher.
Yeah.
That's a good one because I know she's gonna work, of course, with Lex Luthor. So they're gonna be like, together, doing whatever they need to do.
I kind of wonder how they're going to go with her character because in the Superman movie, the original 1978, 79 movie, she plays Tessmacher is like a ditzy kind of like fluky assistant to Lex Luthor.
Yeah, exactly.
But in the animated Superman Adventures and like any other actual like in Smallville and stuff like that, she's more intellectual and she's more almost like a right-hand man to Lex Luthor.
Okay.
So
that's actually better.
I wonder how they're gonna take her character in it.
Hopefully they're like a villainous duo then. That'd be great. That'd be, you know what? Then Superman would have his hands full then, so that's pretty good.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I think even in the animated series, I think she was like a robot or like an android or something like that. I can't remember.
Okay. It's been a while.
It's been.
I need to rewatch those. So I've been to rewatch those. That's for sure.
For sure. And then obviously the engineer. We probably don't know too much about the engineer and the authority, but
yeah, not really.
If she's the villain, that's fine. You know what reminds me of though?
What's that?
Do you remember the Superman 3 with Richard Pryor?
Of course, where the machine would drag people and turn them into like robot. That was such a weird story.
It almost looks like that character. I mean, obviously, it's not the same character. Yes, I know. I don't want to get ripped here, but like, it gives me that feeling. So, like, I can see this character being like a overly logical character. Taking it like a AI would take it, where the only logical thing is to kill all humans or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
What up, Alonzo?
What's up, Alonzo? How's it going, buddy? But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, while watching this cast, I really want to see how the story is put together for the one of the first reboots of DC. So I really want to see this.
Please don't mess it up, James Gunn. Please don't mess it
James
up.
Gunn has a good record right now. He has a good record. So
I
only
am
believe
I'm not too worried that he'll mess it up.
Mhm.
I think with Superman, because it's my favorite character in all of DC,
Mhm.
just slightly past Batman,
Mhm.
but it's always been that character that I grew up going, oh, that's who I want to become. I want to have that kind of character. I want to have that hope. I want to believe good in
Mm.
all people. Kind of
Sure.
thing. And that kind of hero doesn't exist today.
Yeah, the new one's not really. He's more
No,
like a beacon of where we started from, like a beacon.
right.
Yeah.
Everyone's an anti-hero. Everyone's got their own, specific point of
Motives.
view and motives. Right.
Mhm.
Exactly. So I hope he really nails what Superman really is about. Even if it's a little over the top Boy Scout, which he's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, it's his character. Mhm.
That's what all the, Batman calls him, Boy Scout. So
Batman
I
hates
mean,
him because of that.
yeah,
No.
exactly. But that what makes Superman Superman, and I hope
Of
he nails it.
course. Of course. I can't
All
wait
right,
though.
let's go on to the next DC news. Look at that. Okay, we've got Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Supergirl.
So they've already announced this movie, but now
Mm.
they are in the casting phases, and these are the 3 actresses that are actually on the top of the list. So
Hmm.
let's get to know them a little bit better. So the first person we have, I believe,
Mhm.
if you've watched Max in House of the Dragon,
Yes, that's the
uh,
daughter or
this
yeah.
is Millie Alcock. She played
Mm.
Rhaenyra Targaryen,
Mhm.
the
Yeah.
younger version, and she's a great actress. Matter of fact, some people, when they did the time shift on that show, they got
Yeah.
upset that she wasn't in the show anymore.
Well, how can she make him grow, dude? Yeah, I
Right.
know, but still.
So,
Yeah.
but she did such a great job on
Yeah.
a HBO
Mhm.
show. I think it would not be a miss if they chose her. And obviously people
Yeah.
are already thinking that they want her to be Supergirl because they've done a mock-up here. If you can tell right here,
It
they've done
looks a
like
lot
some
like
fan
her.
art,
Yeah. Uh-huh.
and perfectly matched. And then you've got a couple more actresses. You've got Amelia Jones,
Mhm.
and she was from I guess a movie called Coda, but also on Netflix's Lock and Key. And so I've heard good
Okay.
things about that. And then we've got Meg Donnelly, and I believe she was in the Winchester's High School Musical kind of stuff. These actors are a little bit young for me, but
Mhm. Yeah.
that's Supergirl. And I think the way they want Supergirl to be is to be someone who's gone through seeing her whole world die in front of her.
Mhm.
That's the version of Supergirl that they're going for, and so she's going to be a more jaded Supergirl than we would think of normally. But what do you think? Who do you have any thoughts on these actresses?
You know what? Now with that mock-up, the first one looks pretty good, dude. With that mock-up, it's just I love how that looks because you're saying like if she's a Supergirl that's kind of jaded, has like what was growing up a little more was hard to grow up compared to Clark or
Mm-hmm.
Kal-El. I mean that mock-up looks like she looks tough. She looks like she could handle her own. Meanwhile, kind of in an innocent way as well. I think that first one's pretty good, dude. For that mock-up, I
Yeah,
think it's pretty good, bro.
I,
Yeah.
I honestly think the first two look like they could easily be a Supergirl.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about the third one so much,
Mm-hmm.
but like honestly, as long as they pick the best actress for this position, I don't really
Mm-hmm.
care.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and I do hope they go with a little bit more jaded Supergirl because that storyline is an awesome storyline.
It
Um,
is.
and if you guys ever watch the HBO or the Warner Brother animated series of movies
Mm-hmm.
for DC, she's a little jaded in that too. She talks about how she grew up on Krypton. So
Mm-hmm.
she grew up for like, I don't know, like 14, 16 years or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she knows how that world is, but it gets destroyed while she's alive. Instead of like being born into a world where the that world is gone and you never knew of it, right? As Superman.
And you get parents off the bat. You get parents.
Right.
You get
You'll
adopted off
actually
the
have
bat.
parents. You'll get other
Uh-huh.
characters who are Kryptonians,
Yeah.
that were part of that world. You get to see her because they were such an advanced technological society. Now she has to go backwards because she's go to Earth.
Yeah, which we're
You know,
kind of behind compared to Krypton.
right?
I would think,
Way
right?
behind, centuries behind.
Exactly. Exactly.
Millennium. So
We're like cavemen, probably. She got here probably like in the caveman days,
and
probably, right?
that's got also got to be frustrating, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So I kind of want to see that character of her. Like
Mhm.
I know they've been doing a lot of dark character versions of DC characters, but I mean she kind of deserves like that characteristic.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
So,
I definitely agree.
all right. Well, let's go on to the next one. All right, we're gonna get into some Star Wars here. Before we get into Star Wars, I do want to say another piece of information from DC is James Gunn gave an update on Peacemaker season 2,
Oh,
and
cool.
he says he is halfway through writing. He says it's kind of been delayed because he's been working on Superman Legacy, which is perfectly fine with me because
Yep, I agree.
if that's the first movie and the first thing you're gonna, the first whole movie that you're gonna do for the whole universe, you got to get that right.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Priorities straight. Get your priorities straight before that.
Absolutely. All right, so we've got Star Wars news. Obviously, they've talked about a Rey movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be a continuation of the third trilogy, but about 10 years or so more later.
Yeah.
And she's going to be finally building up the Jedi Order, which was supposed to be what Luke Skywalker was supposed to do, but he failed at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Horrifically.
Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Which is probably why I didn't like the trilogy, the third trilogy. But there's all this controversy about the director, and then also there's controversy because now they've announced the Mandalorian movie. They've announced they're working on Ahsoka season 2, and they're saying that there's some rumors are going around that Rey's been put on the shelf, even though that's supposedly supposed to be the next movie that's supposed to come out that they're working on. But from the sources that I've heard, that is not true. They're still writing the Rey movie, so it's still in development. It's nothing's been shelved, and I actually am looking forward to watching it, even though that third trilogy was not the best. But I still like the Rey character. I still like Daisy Ridley. And so I think there's potential there. I do want to see that yellow lightsaber in action.
Yeah, for sure.
So what do you think of this Rey movie that they're gonna make?
The Rey movie, I heard a lot that they're going to take the story where it hasn't ever gone before. They said they're going to change it a lot, but at the same time, respect the story and the fan base. Let's see what they say when they said that. If they're taking a different direction, all right, you know what? I'm in. I'll go see the movie. But you're right about the trilogy, though. I don't like what they did with Skywalker and all that. I mean, but to be honest, if they ended it with Skywalker, they should have done something in a galaxy far, far away from this galaxy. Something totally different, something new. But
they are going to do that. I mean, they do have the High Republic movie coming out. They've got some things in the works, but I really hope that they don't lean on the Skywalker legacy.
Exactly. I want something totally away from it now.
If that's what they're talking about, making it different and going in a different direction, that's where I want them to go, in a different direction, right? Go away from the Skywalkers, leave them alone.
It's done.
It's done. Yeah, it's been done. You overdone it.
I know exactly. Yeah,
and it hurts because for us, the third sequel, because a lot of us have read the Legends books of Star Wars. We know about Luke Skywalker, having all these like fantastical abilities, taking down the Empire, and it's just that kind of stuff that we didn't get in the third, sequel. It's just wasn't up to par for all of us. So
Mhm.
hopefully they do something better here. I really want to see her build up the Jedi Order. Yes, I want to see Sith. I want to see you know what's out there other than the Empire, the First Order, etc.
Yeah, I know, right? Exactly, dude. I want to see where they take this. I'm gonna watch it. It's Star Wars. Hey, I mean, I how can you if it's Star Wars, I'm in. And also, I mean, the Mandalorian movie and all that. I mean, when people say that like they're shelving it, I think they maybe need to wait for these other movies to come out so it kind of
What's
stacks
up,
with it. Maybe.
Morello?
Hey, Morello, how's it going? So maybe they're not shelving it. Maybe they're kind of holding it back for these other movies to come out and then kind of build off of that because they can't have any holes in the story. Maybe
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Because it's the same universe. So I don't know.
So the Mandalorian, I'm very split on the Mandalorian movie. Like I want it to happen, obviously. I
Mhm.
like the Mandalorian, um, but I'm very skeptical on how they do this because Disney has have a record of blowing the Disney Plus section and translating it to the movies.
Mhm.
And perfect example is the Marvels.
Okay.
They had two characters who were introduced in Disney Plus make it into a movie, and no one knew who the hell they were, movie going wise,
Right.
because the audience for the movies is kind of different from those watching television stuff.
True.
They're not always the same, and they're not always going to get it. It's more people watch movies than they would say these shows.
Hmm.
A lot more actually, because it's not just fans or not just like geeky fans of Star Wars, but it's like the everyday person
Yeah,
that watches Star Wars movies.
that's a good
Um,
point. Because
and
you did need like a prerequisite to watch the Marvels. You need to
yeah,
watch like 20 shows, I think, right? Or
you got to watch at least 2 or 3 shows to
mhm,
understand the Marvels itself.
exactly. So that's and some people don't have time for that. They go to the movies to go to the movies and not watch TV. So yeah, I definitely know where you're coming from that.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm skeptical. I hope for the best. At least John Favreau is the one who's directing it, so I have
Mhm.
a little bit more faith. He is a geeky ass person. He loves Star Wars, and I'm glad it's him and not Filoni, even though I love Filoni.
Mhm.
Uh, and that goes into Ahsoka season 2 because he's developing season 2. I don't think season 1 was as good as he could have made it.
Mhm.
He very much wrote it like the animated Clone Wars and Rebels shows, um, instead of making it, I guess more TV cinematic, more movie cinematic.
Right. Okay.
It's just it's kind of like elementary writing
Mm.
that was in Ahsoka, and I think once he grows from that, I think he'll do better. So that's why I'm glad John Favreau is directing Mandalorian movie, and we're possibly getting an Ahsoka season 2.
That's what I want to see.
Uh, anything on the Ahsoka season 2 for you?
I'm looking forward to it. To be honest, I like the first one, dude. I really did, man. I pretty much I remember I was behind a few shows, but I just binge watched the whole thing again. I liked it, dude. I mean, I can't wait for season 2 to be honest.
I mean, for me, I liked it.
Mm.
I just know I've heard the complaints, because
There's always complaints. Yeah,
not everyone knows who the rebels are. Not everyone
exactly.
knows who watch Clone Wars or anything like that.
Mm.
So I see where people are coming from. So
Well, once again, you need a prerequisite. You need to watch shows to watch this. So, I mean, it's kind of where it comes from.
yeah, I get it. I get it. Well, we'll cross our fingers and hope for the best for all Star Wars future.
Hmm.
Because I love Star Wars.
Yeah, same here. Yeah.
All right, well, let's jump into the main gist of this, the Marvel Studios section.
Oof.
Yes, we have to touch on this. Yes, this is past news, but uh, as you can tell, Kang is sitting quite lonely there.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Majors is out as Kang. He has been fired
Yeah.
by Marvel Studios almost within hours of the announcement of his guilty verdict. Now, I'm not going to overblow this. He was found guilty on 2 of the 4 charges, but these 2 charges are, I would say, and not to lessen the victim's plight, but to this is almost like a normal occurrence in everyday life where there's domestic disputes, and this is not like a overly violent crime. The way that he was charged, what he was charged, it was just more like he didn't keep his hands to himself. That's all. So like, if you push somebody, even if you're trying to get away from them and you push them, you can be charged for this crime, the same crime. Yeah, exact same crime. Exactly.
Yep.
So that's why I'm not as I wasn't so much for firing him, but I understand it as a business, especially with the way Disney wants to be portrayed.
Yeah.
That's I can see them distancing themselves. I saw this coming a long time ago, because if you really think about it, Jonathan Majors never promoted Ant-Man Quantumania, really, and he really never promoted Loki season 2. So the writing was already on the wall that they had already plans to get rid of him if found guilty.
Yeah. They had the template ready and everything, like I said, within the hour. The template, boom, you're gone.
They definitely had the press release ready to go. They had, I bet you they had 2 press releases. One, if he'd be continuing as, or 2, we're letting him go. And that's just business. There's nothing to get woke about. There's nothing you hate about. This is a business decision. You might not like it, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes when, you put yourself in a bad position.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. I think he'll come back eventually into Hollywood. I just think he needs a little time. He needs self-reflection and, just work on himself until he can get back in. Robert Downey Jr. could come back. Charlie Sheen can come back. He can come back.
Good point. Good. And then they came back in a big way.
Absolutely. Big way. So
true that.
I mean, some of those comedians that got in trouble, they can come back. So he can do so as well. And then we've got before we go on to the next part, what did you think of the whole Jonathan Majors?
And the whole like fall from grace, dude, because he was up and coming. He was in Creed. He looked pretty much unstoppable by the way he was going. But then when this came out, I'm like, oh man, you know what? I mean, it's true. He's guilty for what he's done. I mean, even with the push or shove, it's a type of assault, which is, I mean, these actors are like, they're pretty much, they should do the right thing. And also they're walking on eggshells when you work for like Marvel or Disney, dude,
You put yourself in the public limelight.
Yeah.
You can't, and I'm sorry to say this, your life is not normal, so you can't act normal. Like, you got to be overly cautious sometimes. And even if you think it's just a normal thing to be, even
a tweet that you didn't mean to say it that way, but they look at it a different way.
Oh,
you're done.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, I mean, I don't want to. It's sad to say that you're walking on eggshells. You can't be yourself. You can't think what's on your mind. You can. I mean, you have the right, but also you have consequences that go with your belief.
Every choice has a consequence, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just it's
sad.
It's tough. It's sad. It really is, dude. So yeah.
And from what I've heard, they are still looking for a replacement for Kang. Even to the contrary of what people are saying, that Kang character is going to be dead and gone, that they've written him off in Loki season 2. They are still looking to recast Kang. So we'll see if that really happens. If they do, I would bet that he would go the way of the Dodo in the movies, and they'll probably just make fun of him and kill him off real quick.
Make him the first roadie in Iron Man 1.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. They're kind of gonna, I think they're just gonna write him in and maybe even poke fun at themselves. I hope they do. Just to write off the character properly instead of
Kind
just
of
like,
meta.
yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what they do. I mean, it's not necessary that Kang comes back. And then we've got the Thunderbolts movie. Of course, Stephen Yeun was outed by Robert Kirkman to be playing the Sentry when that was just a quote-unquote rumor, even though we've heard that rumor for years. And basically, without confirming, they confirmed that he was going to play the Sentry. But he's out. And this happens after the Robert Kirkman leak. Don't know if it's necessarily related. I think it might be partially related because that's an NDA that he definitely went against. He definitely wasn't supposed to tell him that. And then, but I also heard it is a personal decision for him. He had, because of the strikes and then the pushing of the Thunderbolts filming, because they were restructuring the movie, that he could not make it work for himself. And so he's out now. And I also hear that they are still trying to recast the Sentry, even though people are saying, some people are saying, oh, well, they'll probably write him out and or not have him in the movie. I still think that they are looking for that person. So what do you think of Steven leaving the Thunderbolts?
Man, I mean, look at that mock picture, dude. He looks pretty good. When I first heard it, I'm like, well, you know what? He doesn't have because Sentry is pretty much like Marvel's Superman, kind of.
Yes, and he's built like
strong.
Superman.
He's built. He's bulk. He's strong. So I'm like, Stephen, I'm like, you know what? I can't picture it when I first heard it, but I'm like, let's see how they make it work. But watching this like art and mock, I'm like, you know what? It looks pretty damn good. I think he would have pulled it off. But like you said, man, I mean, they have been restructuring a lot of Marvel movies. They have been refocusing on everything. I mean, even look what's going on with Jonathan Majors here. So maybe, I mean, it sounds about right. Like they're, you know what? He's doing other things. They're restructuring too much. You know what? I can't do it. And they're still looking for a Sentry. I hope they put him in here because the more the merrier. And I do want to see a Sentry live action. So if they can make him look good, like in this mock, whoever they pick, I mean, I'm pretty sure they'll do a good job when they pick.
See, the reason why I would want the Sentry in the Thunderbolts is, and I know he's overly powered. Yeah. What the hell are the Thunderbolts going to do against Sentry, or anyone in that for that matter?
Yeah, pretty much.
I would want the character in because I don't think at any point you can realistically put the character in any superhero movie without blowing up the superhero universe. But when you have a multiverse storyline going on, and then eventually I think it's an obvious thing that they will eventually merge the multiverse into an Earth, into one universe. So you can get rid of some of these characters that are overly powered or too much for that universe to handle, thematically or like even just to make sense, like that uncanny valley, you would get rid of them within that whole storyline eventually. Okay. So at least you had a chance to have them in the universe, right? And then you can write them out eventually. I know there's a lot of Sentry fans out there, and I'm sorry if that's the way that he goes, but I mean, that's the perfect way to get him into the universe and then go, okay, now we can fix the universe. He can't be in it.
I know. You got to taste Sentinel. Now you're gone. But that's how they're going to bring the X-Men, the other, that's the excuse of, bringing everybody in. So I get it.
Yeah. Look, he just won an Emmy for that Netflix show with what's her? I can't remember the other actress's name, but yeah,
it's like Road Rage or something, right? Road Rage,
something like that.
Beef, right? Beef.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good. Yeah, that was cool.
Is it Ali Wong? Yeah, it's Ali Wong.
Yeah, it's Ali Wong. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, so congratulations to him. And he does say he want to be part of the Marvel universe one day. So I hope they leave that open for him. Yeah. And there's a lot of Asian characters out there that haven't been in the universe.
True that. Hey, he has a spot open.
Yeah. All right. Well, so long to these two fellas. All right. And now we're moving on to a couple of news. Just just real quick, um, people thought that with all the restructuring, Wonder Man wouldn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been reports that Wonder Woman will still film and actually is getting ready to film. They just announced that, and the Wonder Man series will be under the Marvel spotlight, just like Echo was.
Nice,
And so
nice.
it'll be a standalone series, probably be about 5 to 6 episodes, and I would think they would probably release all 5, 6 episodes at the same time because it's like a Marvel
Cool.
spotlight thing.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but
I
we'll
like that.
see. We'll see how they. I would like it to be week to week, but obviously it depends on how well written this is. And
Hmm.
oh God, what is this guy's name? Abdul Mateen or
He's an Aquaman. He's the black
yeah, he's the Black Manta, right?
and yeah, Black Manta. Yeah, he plays an evil character. He does it well. He does it well.
Let me see what his name is. Yahya Abdul Mateen. I was pretty close.
Yeah, you
Um,
got it.
yeah, so I mean, he's a great actor.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yes.
yes, I understand they're race swapping here. I I'm split on that kind of issue, race swapping and actually creating a character for that, for this type of person, like
Mm-hmm.
this race, as a black man or an Asian man or Indian woman, whatever the case may be. Yeah, some people want the character written for that person.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I honestly, you know what? Hollywood has always been we'll put a white person in place of an Asian man or a black man or whatever. Hey, it's the same thing going here. I don't care. I don't care. Just give me the best actor for the character, and I'll work with it.
There you
And
go.
he's a great actor, so I can't wait to watch Wonder Man. I actually kind of wonder how they'll put his story in because he was supposed to be basically what the Vision was based off of.
Oh, really? That I didn't
Yeah.
know.
So his personality was supposed to be within Vision. So
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Well,
I see what you're saying.
I mean, we still have White Vision, so and it kind of has no personality.
Mhm.
So we'll
Yeah.
see what happens if it's anywhere related.
Hmm.
But they are starting to film,
Oh,
and then Agatha Darkhold Diaries has just I guess it's going to finish filming in a few days.
oh,
So
nice.
the people are saying that Agatha ain't happening, or they're going to cancel that too. Both of these things are happening on Disney Plus.
Mhm.
So, what do you think of these two characters and Disney Plus shows?
Wonder Man. I mean, I haven't followed much on Wonder Man, so I mean, I can't say that. Oh, they're destroying my childhood of Wonder Man. I barely even know him, so even though if I
The
did.
majority of people don't know who it is.
So I mean, and plus this actor, I mean, I loved him in Aquaman. He was quite villainous. So, but I mean, now he's going to be a hero. And the thing is, this is Marvel Spotlight. So Spotlight is more, I don't want to say adult oriented, but it has a little more violence than your
Yep.
usual shows, which we'll get into later. I'll talk about that later.
Yes.
So I mean, for them to do that, that means this character is probably going to be a little more, serious, more gritty. Hopefully, so don't
Apollo,
worry, Wonder Man has no
you're
nobody's
so
job.
right.
Okay, so I'm on the right. Okay, I don't know because I mean there could be a huge Wonder Man fan base that I don't know about. There's always a fan base for everything, even though it's only 2 or 3 people. It's still a fan base. But yeah, that's pretty funny.
I think it's just comic book people complaining about stuff. That's
Yeah,
all.
was it purists? Just
Yeah.
straight purists. And yeah, and
Purist
for
in
Agatha.
anything is not a good thing.
No, it's not, man, because it's kind of it leaves you kind of narrow minded, because what if one little thing can make it so much better, but you don't want that because so and so. I don't really
Exactly.
believe in that, dude. But yeah, and Agatha, I mean, I love WandaVision, and we saw what happened to her, right? She was
Yeah.
she
I
got a
mean, she got put under a spell by the
yep.
Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
And if you watch Doctor Strange in the multiverse, in Madness into the Multiverse, you know what happens to Scarlet Witch, or at least
Well, I mean,
You see something happen to her that might be
mhm.
able to break that spell.
Yes, yes, exactly. Yeah, because I remember when the thing crumbles, you see like you don't know if she disappears or you die. I don't know, but that's all you. But yes. So I'm guessing something happened. She breaks free, and now she's going to continue what she was doing, or talk more about the Darkhold. So, and you're right. I heard so many people saying this is canceled. They shelved it. I don't know what.
It's
And I'm
just
like, really?
haters who want to make you get those likes. They want to get
Yeah,
their little clout chasing.
yeah.
You know, just all those Reddits and posts
Hmm.
about what they think is going to happen or that they heard. Um, I never believe 99% of them.
Yeah,
There are certain
yeah.
people I listen to, uh, and we'll talk about a couple of those people. I mean, obviously, this is a Nerdist article,
Hmm.
so they know what they're talking about. You got Variety, Hollywood Reporter. All of
Yep.
those guys are in the know, and they will
Hmm.
only print what is confirmed.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah,
That's the way
I
you're
mean,
supposed to do
that's
it.
how news is supposed to work. You
Exactly.
confirm and you double confirm.
Yeah.
Um,
You confirm, then verify and confirm. So yeah.
Multiple sources.
Hmm.
Yeah, so like to all those other people, they're just guessing, and I think it's just haterism or haterade.
Haterade, sipping on the haterade.
Yeah, definitely the haterade. Like,
Yeah.
oh well, I never wanted them to make the Wonder Man series. Like, who cares about Wonder Man? Or why is Wonder Man a black man now? It's like, you know what?
Really?
You don't have to watch it. You don't have to like it. They could still make it.
Yeah, they can still make
It's
it.
not everything's for everyone.
Hmm.
You know,
True.
even though all of this is all for me, so I don't care.
And for Agatha, who do you think they're going to bring in? Like, where's the story going to lead to?
Oh,
What new character is going to
so
lead to? You think?
let me there is a little bit of I know a little bit about the show.
Okay.
One is
Okay.
okay, so the spell is broken,
Hmm.
and if you remember at the end of WandaVision, she has no powers anymore.
Hmm.
So she's going to be searching for power to gain her
Ah.
power back. And there also be, at least I know of one casting. Actually, there's two castings. I don't know who one of the actors' names is, but I think they casted Nicholas. Is it Nicholas
Cage.
Faust or
Oh.
no? It's her son. In the
Mm.
comics. And then they also casted an actress, which I think a lot of people know who she is Aubrey Plaza.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
from Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
I like her as an actress.
Yeah.
I want to see her in the Marvel universe. So I think she's gonna play a witch, and I'm not sure if she's part of her covenant or she's like the anti
Opposing
Agatha.
Covenant or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay.
So I'm excited to see this series because she was probably one of the best parts of WandaVision, or the surprising part of WandaVision that everyone liked. So and Catherine Hahn is a great actress. I love her in all the movies that she's done. So yeah, I'm down for this show.
Yeah. That's same here, man. All these I want to watch actually. So let's do it.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, so moving on.
Oh,
Uh,
this is cool.
the Fantastic Four. Okay, everyone's heard of all the rumors, right?
Hmm.
But the biggest, um, so right now, I guess the Fantastic Four movie is supposed to be based on Sue Storm as the main character.
Hmm.
Although it's called Fantastic Four, all four of them are main characters.
Yes. There's no
Uh,
leader. There's no leader.
exactly. And then so they've got here Vanessa Kirby. If you guys know who she is, they have her as Sue Storm. Well, the rumor is she's going to be Sue Storm.
Okay.
Uh, if you guys remember the actor from
The Bear.
no, oh yeah, The Bear, the main actor from The Bear and Shameless,
Hmm.
he is supposedly going to be the Thing.
That's a good one. I
And
like that.
if you look down here, Stranger Things. Do you remember Stranger
Yeah.
Things? I think he was in season 4.
Uh-huh.
I can't remember his name. Alan White is his last name. It's he is supposed to be Johnny Storm.
That's a good one, dude. Because
And
the way he acted in that show, he could play like kind of like a
yeah,
reckless type of
yes,
risky dude. That's a good one. I like that.
I think I think they've got the actors. I really
Mhm.
hope these are the actors that they're going to cast. That the
Yes.
rumors are correct. And I know there's been a lot of other people rumored for these roles, but I think these are the actual people who are going to be playing these roles. We haven't gotten any official word, but that is the rumors going around. But of course, the biggest rumor is Mr. Fantastic as
Yeah.
Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic. And I'm like 99% sure he is going to be Mr. Fantastic, even though it's never
Yep.
been confirmed. The reason why is he recently bowed out of a movie that will be filming at the same time Fantastic Four will start filming.
So
Because they
timeline,
had,
putting timelines together.
yeah, they moved the
Mhm.
schedule for Fantastic Four, right? They've already delayed it. They delayed filming. And so that is the rumor, like serious rumor. And these rumors came from a person I listen to a lot because he's very much in the know. His name is Jeff Snyder. If you go follow him on Instagram and Twitter.
Jeff Snyder.
He has a newsletter. Um, he's basically called Jeff the Insnider Snyder. Okay,
Quite the tongue
so,
twister there.
so he knows stuff.
Yeah, that
And
sounds about right.
he's on like the John Roca show on YouTube, and they talk about a bunch of like rumors and stuff, and he has the inside information. And so he's been saying, Joseph Quinn. That's right. I try to remember.
Okay.
Joseph Quinn is the guy from Stranger Things.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah. So these are the four rumored people. And what do you think of this casting? If this is gonna happen,
dude, the thing is, these characters are already loved by like the audience, dude. I mean, Pedro Pascal, dude. He's blown up ever since the first Mandalorian. He's been in so many movies.
He's everybody's daddy. He's Grogu's daddy. He's Ellie's daddy.
And like he says, daddy is a state of mind. What he said, I remember in one interview. He's like, being a daddy, it's a state of mind. I mean, these actors are loved already. You know what I'm saying? Especially the guy from The Bear too. The show they already have third season. I guess they're planned already.
They're on they finished the second season. I think they were working on the third, and he just won a bunch of Emmys, or that show won a bunch of Emmys. So,
and also the Stranger Things. I just talked about that. I mean, that character will play a perfect Johnny because, like I said, he's reckless, risky. You know, attitude, personality. It's all there. So I definitely can see that. So
yes.
And Storm, I don't know the actress very well though, but the way she looks, I mean, she could pull it off. The way she looks.
Yeah,
but I don't know her that well.
She's actually been in a bunch of stuff. Let me see what she's been in. She's been in Napoleon, the recent movie.
Okay.
She was in the Fast and Furious movies, Mission Impossible movies.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's definitely been in a couple Mission Impossible movies, like 3 of them.
Okay. No, I mean, there's a reason why they want to choose her. I mean, with all this star-studded cast, I mean, she has to be a part of it. So that's pretty cool. Yeah. So I definitely want. I mean, Fantastic Four is like everybody's been asking for this. I mean, come on. It must have for years. When there's Fantastic Four, then there's going to be X-Men. I mean, once this comes in, a lot of stuff will be coming in that people have wanted to see for years. So,
and to be quite honest, I'm not even worried about casting wise. I just want a well-written, well-acted, believable movie. As believable as you can have for a superhero movie. But I just want them to get it right because Fox has ruined the Fantastic Four.
Oh my goodness, the 1 and 2, Rise of the Silver Surfer, Galactus, the pink purple cloud Galactus,
the cloud Galactus, and then the reboot of Fantastic Four where Dr. Doom is a hacker. Kiss my ass.
My goodness, dude, you can't. Dude, Dr. Doom is such an A-lister villain. You can't mess that up, dude. You just
and they had a good actor as Dr. Doom in the first 2 movies. They screwed him up.
They did. the way his armor was his skin. I'm like, come on, man. Why are you changing the character like that, dude? I mean, Doctor Doom, he's an evil Iron Man with magic powers.
Right.
That's what he is, and he owns his own country.
Well, it's not just that he's basically T'Challa, right? Mm-hmm. He's a leader of his own country.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, he's not just Iron Man. He's fucking Doctor Strange.
Yeah, he has magic.
He's both of them.
He's dangerous,
right?
Yeah,
it's dangerous. Tied to Mephisto. It's tied to like the Fantastic Four. He's tied to like every villain. It's kind of you can't really write him wrong, but then Fox found a way to write him wrong. So that's what happens when you don't have a connected universe.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. And plus, if you read his lore, his story is such an interesting character, dude. He's
actually a sad character.
Yeah.
Like his story is very heart-wrenching and breaking. Mm-hmm. His mother, his wives, like all of his relationship with Sue Storm. Like it is such a crazy amount of great storylines that they have for Doctor Doom, and they just can never get it right.
Exactly.
With Feige, I have faith in Feige. I believe in Feige. In Feige, we trust. I know a lot of people are talking about how Feige is let everybody down recently, and everything in Marvel kind of sucks. If you don't understand the business side of Hollywood, then you will blame Kevin Feige for everything.
Yeah.
Because he's the forefront person of Marvel.
That's hard.
In the end, Kevin Feige has bosses. He's not the say-all, be-all.
No.
So those bosses can tell him what to do, and he's got to do it.
The suits, yeah. He has. I know his hands are tied a lot of the times, and that's supposed to be really frustrating. Really frustrating.
I would be frustrated. I am frustrated. I'm frustrated watching these terrible-ass movies and shows.
Yep.
And people blaming Kevin Feige, but he's not the person who's really at fault. Nope. It's other executive decisions that are made above his pay grade. And now that it's kind of being corrected, the course is being corrected. Bob Iger's back. He's giving him back his power. Kevin Feige his power. So he's making all these changes. If you guys have not heard, obviously Echo is no longer a regular series, a Marvel Spotlight series, and I think it did well. I think it was a good show. I think it's a good showing. They're changing Daredevil around.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard, there's no more She-Hulk series.
Yeah.
That cost them too much money. That cost them over $225 million. And like he's changing a lot of different things. The movies itself, Thunderbolts, Captain America 4, FF. And so all these changes won't be seen for like a few years, 2 to 3 years.
Yeah. So
give it time. Have a little faith in Feige, and I hope the Fantastic Four. Look, he loves the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't doubt that he's going to put his best foot forward on this.
Exactly.
All right. Yes. All right. So let's talk about Echo. Have you seen Echo?
Yeah, I have actually.
Okay. So I think it's one of the better shows, at least better than half of the shows of Disney Plus. I might not be saying much, but I think it was good. I think the actress Alaqua Cox is very good, especially for someone who has the disabilities that she has, to make it feel like I'm not pandering to those disabled people. And I liked how this show was kind of brutal. I liked the action. I liked the storyline. I wish they would have dug a little bit more into her Native American background instead of just using the Genesis storyline and that's it.
Right.
Because I think there's more to those people than just their Genesis. You know, their very first story of how they became. You know, their culture and stuff like. I think they got a little bit of it because if you see the actor, the grandpa actor, I mean, he was hilarious. He playing into the whole, oh yeah, you know, this is from the first people, and
Yeah, dude,
Selling,
the Lopez family, was it
yeah,
Lopez? Man.
it's hilarious. The
Yeah.
grandma's good. Biscuits was awesome. Um, and I like how they look. I know they made her powers superpowers,
Mm,
and but that's how it kind of is in the comic books. It's
mhm.
and this is I've heard some people say, this is a good start to building up mutants in
Okay.
the MCU, because it's like,
Okay.
well, the powers that you're born with, right?
Hmm.
So she was always born with this power. She just never accessed it.
Hmm. It was dormant.
It was always dormant, right?
Mhm.
Exactly. So that's kind of like that you know um, callback to mutant powers.
Mhm.
And I liked how they put Daredevil in it,
Yeah.
related it,
Yep.
Hawkeye, everything that was related in that first episode. That was pretty cool.
Hmm.
So I liked it. I think the only thing I didn't like was the whole Kingpin thing of, well, and this is spoilers for everyone. He gets shot in the eye at the end of Hawkeye, and it didn't look more than a boo boo on his eye. Like, he
Dude,
recovers 5 months later. I'm like,
it's William Fisk, man. He has X Factor's healing skills. He
I
has the
wish,
Wolverine X Factor.
I just wish they would explain that a little bit.
That's true. That's kind of a whole loop, kind of a hole there, dude. Like a
Yeah,
plot, well, in a way.
it's
So it's like,
definitely a
wait.
plot hole. But they needed him in this show. I think it
Mm-hmm.
made the storyline, uh, just relatable to Daredevil, Hawkeye. It made it
Yeah.
relatable to who we think the Kingpin is, because he looked like the Kingpin
Oh
throughout
my
this series.
goodness. Yes. Yes.
More so, I even think, than even the Daredevil series, if I may say, from Netflix. And we'll talk about that in a second. Um, but yeah, I think this was the definitive Kingpin, definitely more so than the Hawkeye show.
Hmm.
I mean, just look at his white suit.
Yeah.
Look at the blood. Look how like big he is. He's not this. I mean, he's a big guy in real life,
It's
but
not fat, dude. I heard
but
it's
he's
all
not.
muscle.
Yeah, he didn't fill the suit out before, and
Mm-hmm.
now he's filling it out like the Kingpin would fill it out.
Yep.
Yes, that's a fat reference, but he's also super strong.
He is. He is.
Um, and I just love the way Echo's journey from beginning to end here in this show moves her away from being Kingpin's lackey
Mm-hmm.
and a villain to an anti-hero. And they did it in a better way than I thought they would have ended it. I thought it was going to be more cheesy, which some people say it's cheesy, because to see her ancestors fighting with her and her grandma all of a sudden has powers.
Yeah, that's true. Our fist. I'm like, whoa, where did that come from? Yeah.
But I liked it. It was gritty
Yeah.
for a Disney Plus show, and I hope they continue making more gritty Marvel Spotlight shows.
Mhm.
But what did you think of Echo?
You know what? Echo, I don't know. I did not know a lot about her. So I came in and it was a
Same.
low bar. I was going to be like, oh, this is the savior of the Marvel universe. No, but I have heard of Echo also through the Daredevil universe. Also in the comics, isn't she more like she has like the Phoenix ability, where she has like
Mm,
she could become the vessel of the
that
Phoenix or something like that?
so
I remember hearing
that comes later on with the
that.
X-Men.
Yeah. Hmm.
With Phoenix Song. I think it's
Yes.
Phoenix Song.
Yes.
Um,
I remember hearing that way back.
I think it's just because she has the ability, the capability to handle the Phoenix Force.
Yes. Hmm.
Because not everyone in the comic books can handle the Phoenix Force. That's
No.
why Jean Grey was able to get the Phoenix Force, because
Hmm.
she's such a strong mutant,
Yeah, the
probably
vessel,
one of the
perfect vessel.
strongest.
Hmm.
And that's so to say that Echo can handle the Phoenix Force is saying that she's as strong a character as Jean Grey.
Yep. Yep.
And that's how I take it.
Mhm.
But so I hope they build that up.
Yeah, me too. I do.
And just show that she is as powerful as they want her to be.
Yeah, but and also what what brought me onto the show is that they brought back, the actor for, William Fisk, Charlie Cox, Daredevil right out the gate. She's toe to toe with Daredevil. But I when I saw that, I'm like, all right, okay, you know what? And also Marvel Spotlight. Now, Marvel Spotlight is more of a grittier Marvel series from what I've heard
Yes.
from the beginning. So, I mean, it wasn't as violent. It could have been more violent, but it
Right,
was
right.
enough. There was blood splatter and stuff like on the wall. I'm like,
It's not
ooh,
Netflix Daredevil, but
exactly.
it's Netflix Daredevil light.
Yes, exactly. And that pulled me in too. So with those three things, the two actors in Spotlight, I'm like, all right, you know what? This is worth the watch. And I think they pulled it off great. But like I said, I mean, I came in kind of like a low bar at first. But then when I saw it, and how the character grew, grew away from the Kingpin, did her own thing, and plus her family, that grandpa could have his own series. I'd watch
Dude,
it.
that look,
Yes,
I love him as an actor already. Before this show, I know who that actor is. That
oh
guy has
yeah,
been
he's
in
been
a
around.
ton of
Ton.
movies and TV
Mhm.
series.
Mhm.
He's a great actor.
Mhm.
He played up the whole, like, oh, American American native, to the to the white people. Like it's like
Yeah,
he played it up. I
yeah,
love
he
it.
did. Yeah, he did.
He had a little bit of comedy there.
Hmm.
I dug it. I think the supporting actors, the supporting
Hmm.
like family members, I think all of them worked. They're all
Hmm.
really good actors. And so like, look, this is not Kamala Khan's family, okay?
Hmm. Right,
All
right.
right, they're not
Yeah,
that
it's a little different.
funny. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but I dig what their these characters were. It helped her become there's that base for her that she never knew she had, right? Like that
Hmm.
home base of like getting back to your roots, getting back
Yeah.
to what your people stand for,
Yep. Yep.
and doing the right thing,
Hmm.
So, I'm glad they had these characters and the supporting actors, and I think it helped. Now, when we're talking about the Netflix Daredevil stuff,
Hmm.
people were saying, "Oh, well, look, it's the hammer that Kingpin used to kill his dad from the Daredevil Netflix series." It looks like it.
Hmm. Could be
Okay.
a stretch, right? Could be a stretch.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things going on. At first, they were saying, "Oh, the Daredevil Netflix is not. This is not the same Daredevil. Is not the same Wilson Fisk. Okay, this is a different version, but similar,
Mm.
right?" That's what they were saying at first. Now they have kind of reversed course. Because I've been telling everybody the Netflix series is not canon. All right, it's canon in the multiverse. It's not canon within the MCU straight timeline.
Hmm.
But now people are saying it is part of the MCU timeline. It is on the Disney Plus MCU timeline, all the Netflix shows,
Yeah.
and I think Kevin Feige has changed his mind because at first, and let's go to the next one. At first, Deborah Ann Walter and I can't remember this guy's name. He's
Foggy
playing
Nelson.
Foggy Nelson. They were not going to be in Daredevil Born Again.
Mm.
So they were not going to cast them. And now the rumor is, and this rumor is by Jeff Snyder again, they are going to bring these characters back.
That's awesome, man. I
They're
like them.
bringing these actors back. They're going to be in Daredevil Born Again. We
Nice.
don't know how many episodes they'll be in, but they are rumored to be back, even though they were not before. So
So
this is
cool.
what happens when Kevin Feige changes gets his opportunity to write the ship.
Hmm.
I like these actors. I think it's going to be slightly confusing because I still think that the whole Daredevil Netflix show or series, all 3 seasons, is not necessarily all canon still. Even bringing back these characters, I think they're going to pick and choose. I don't think they're going to say everything because I don't know if Vanessa is going to be part of that lore
Mm.
from the Daredevil Netflix series.
Okay.
I don't know if Elektra or Bullseye is going to be part of that lore from the from the Daredevil Netflix series.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
They
Yeah,
might recast them because those are
yeah,
important characters to bring to the MCU.
especially for Daredevil. I mean, especially.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Um, and if you guys didn't see the end of Echo, the after credit scene is we might get Mayor Kingpin.
Mm.
He at the very end of the show, he sees the mayoral race for New York, and he gets the idea of probably running. And if you guys don't know the recent comic books, Devil's Reign, Wilson Fisk becomes the mayor of New York City,
Yep.
and he outlaws vigilantes. And there's a
Wonder
fight.
why.
Yeah, well, I wonder why too. Yeah, I mean, you're not the kingpin for no reason.
Exactly.
And this gets very street level. Crossover. You got Spider-Man, Luke Cage, Elektra, Fantastic Four. All kinds of people are involved in this this crossover. So they're saying, this might be a Devil's Reign lead-in into Daredevil Born Again, where Wilson Fisk is running for mayor, becomes the mayor, and that is why I have these Spider-Man images, because
right
that is also supposed to lead into the Daredevil Born Again, supposed to lead into Spider-Man 4 storyline.
Oh,
so they're all going to be connected. The Echo ending, Daredevil Born Again, and Spider-Man 4. It might even be like a trilogy of like street level heroes in a sense. And I hope they're connected like that. I mean, that would be awesome to see Daredevil and Spider-Man together on the big screen.
Charlie Cox was actually he was his lawyer, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was his lawyer, but he was never Daredevil.
No, correct. Yes, but he was there, so he has to be there. But yeah,
and that'd be cool. I mean, even though he doesn't know who Peter Parker was, he never knew who Peter Parker was Spider-Man in the first place.
That's true.
Even though you would think with his senses, he would know
by his his heart, or if he's lying or not, if he has exactly or anything. Yeah,
exactly. True. And then I just would love to see those actors together, those characters together. And what is Spider-Man without Kingpin in any of his movies?
Oh, I know.
Right. Yeah. So I think it would be great to see Kingpin versus Spider-Man for sure. And to explain how Kingpin can fight even a Spider-Man, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he can.
Please explain that to me, or at least show it to us, to the audience. I understand. But you're thinking, oh, Kingpin's just a regular person. He's gonna fight Spider-Man. He's gonna get his butt whooped.
That's why you lose against Kingpin. If you underestimate Kingpin, you lose. You lost already.
So I really hope they make these storylines and work it out. And that Daredevil, kind of smoothly goes into Spider-Man 4. I'm glad they're bringing back these actors. Again, I still don't necessarily believe, until Kevin Feige says Daredevil Netflix series and all the Netflix series are part of the MCU timeline. I don't care who else at Disney or Marvel says it, because the article was saying the Daredevil Netflix series is now part of canon because a Marvel studio exec said it was. But if you read the actual quote, he said he believes it is. Doesn't mean, like, you understand? He's like, oh, in my world, I believe it's part of the canon. That doesn't mean it's canon.
I know. Yeah.
And throughout, Charlie Cox coming back and Vincent D'Onofrio coming back as Daredevil and Wilson Fisk, they've even said in different interviews that they're different. They're similar, but they're different. So we'll see how that really works out. Until Feige says it, I don't believe it's canon. And I don't know. What do you think of all these rumors and bringing back characters and changing their mind?
I think what he's trying to do is that they're bringing back these characters to bring that old fan base.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Just to cater to that old fan base, like, oh, you know what? It's canon, but it's not. But they're actually cool with it. I mean, it's kind of like, I don't want to say a bait and switch, but it's like, you know what? There's these characters, you loved them before, come see them here. So kind of, I don't want to say tricking them, but like, hey, you know what? You love these characters before, it's gonna work. Let's see it. I mean, for me, it works because I love these characters. I love the story from Netflix. It was my man. I binge watched what 3 seasons? Was it 3 seasons of
Yep. 3
Daredevil? Because
seasons
season
Daredevil.
2 was Punisher. Oh man,
Yes.
come on, give us a Punisher with a spotlight, Marvel spotlight, please. Oh,
Look,
man.
I guarantee John Bernthal is going to be back as the Punisher.
Dude, he's woof. He
I
played
I
well.
will definitely believe there will be a Marvel Spotlight series on the Punisher.
Yes, please do,
And I think he will be part of the bigger MCU eventually.
Yeah.
I just think they are, there's a lot of controversy going on in the world of the Marvel universe.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't necessarily want to throw more gas to the fire by throwing in a Punisher who has been sometimes looked as almost
a role model.
Yeah, well, not just a role model, but in the light of politics, the Punisher symbol is something else.
Yes.
Okay, so I mean, I don't want to get too political about it. So
sure.
Because this is kids stuff. Leave it as kids stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just
I know what you're saying.
It's like the swastika. It's all these symbolism issues, and it's just a controversial topic, and so I can understand them not necessarily bringing it on yet.
Okay, hopefully they work something out because that was a good series.
Well, the actor is a good person. The actor is a great actor, and I think Marvel has no issues with bringing that actor back as the Punisher.
I agree, 100%.
As successful as the Daredevil series was, so was Punisher in that Daredevil series.
Yeah.
So there's no reason not to bring him back. So people, hold on. Wait a little. Be patient. We'll get there. Obviously, we're bringing back Foggy and oh God, what's her name? Karen.
Yeah.
Karen. So they are bringing them back, and they're great actors and actresses.
They are.
So
they're awesome.
I can't wait. And it makes more sense now because I mean, look, John Favreau is also in the MCU. He's played Foggy. You can't not. You can't have a different. You got to have that different Foggy, or else you're screwing with the world.
That shows a Happy Foggy. What is it?
Yeah, it's Happy Hogan. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait till Daredevil. I'm glad they're rewriting it. I've heard some bad things about it. That we don't see Daredevil until like the 4th episode.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a lot of story building then.
Yeah, exactly. Like you only see Matt Murdock, but you don't see Daredevil until like the 4th episode. So that has been scratched and that's gone. They're writing it over and they're refilming it. And now they're bringing back these old actors. So
some has changed. So I'm ready for it.
I can't wait. All right. And then that's it. That is all the news we have this week.
All right.
And so any thoughts on what we've talked about or anything else?
Well, everything that we talked about, it's I can't wait for it. I mean, all the movies, the shows, and it looks like a good lineup. For this year, it looks like a pretty good lineup. So I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to talk more on stuff next week because there's a lot of stuff going on this week. We can wait for next week. So yeah,
yes, we will be back next week. I have a little Voldemort growing again, but that'll get taken care of one day, and I don't think I'll miss any shows, but we'll see.
Cool.
All right, so let's tell everyone what's upcoming on the Nearing Nirvana YouTube channel.
All right,
we've got Nearing Nirvana. before the Nearing Nirvana Variety Show. Obviously, tomorrow, Thursday, there will be a show. It's called Long Story Short. It's where the fellows of Nearing Nirvana, other fellows, we'll be talking about ghost books. So always check them out every Thursday. There's so many episodes that you guys really should go check them out. There's so many cool comic books that you've probably never seen before, or are very rare, or very cool looking that you never knew existed. So you should go check them out. Check out all the cool. If you're a comic book lover, if you love the rare comic books, if you love having something, great art covers, just great storylines of, and rare books of those storylines, just go check them out. Long story short, every Thursday. So on Friday, you have the Nearing Nirvana Variety Show. And that's what the ladies of Nearing Nirvana, they'll talk about, whatever pop culture topic there is to talk about. And then you got, of course, on Saturday, West Coast Big Rob, Charlie, Steve, Hip Hops, and me, and myself. You're usually on Saturday Morning Toy Box, talk about all the upcoming new toys and statues and Legos and Funko and Mayfex and everything everything under the sun that you can think of toys. Heck, even what are those brat toys?
Yeah, you mean like Monster High, Brat?
Yeah, Monster High. Yeah, I mean, we talk about everything. We don't discriminate here.
No, we talk about
anything that's collectible or hot. We're gonna talk about.
Yep.
Okay, and hopefully we don't make you spend too much money, but we do kind of want you to spend a little money.
Get the economy going.
Yeah, you can nerd out with the rest of us and geek out with all your toys.
Yes.
And then, of course, on Monday, we will be back with the Team Nerd Herd's Cover Lovers, where we talk about all the incentive covers and store exclusives that we like or dislike for that week. You join us with Han Guitar Solo, aka Mike. You saw him in here earlier, Mr. Morello Tunes. Go check it out. We love this show, and we're gonna have a special guest this Monday from Nearing Nirvana. So can't wait for that show. And then, of course, on Tuesdays, you got the Comic Book Women Market Report. They just had one yesterday with special guest Trish Forstner. They talked about What If, and then they talked about Pharaoh, which is Trish's new upcoming book in March. So go watch it on the rewind, and then go watch them on next Tuesday's episode. Excuse me. And then, of course, we'll be back here, the Week in Geek, on next Wednesday. And I think also, if I didn't forget, Saturday, after Saturday Morning Toy Show, I believe Charlie is thinking about doing another Game Addicts. Is that true?
Yes, I'm hopefully I get a hold of a game to do that for, but if not, I'll probably review something older. Okay. But yeah, I'll see if we could do it for this Saturday. I'll double check on that, and then I'll make sure
it'll be this Saturday tentatively, or next Saturday.
You know what? Next Saturday, because we have a company party this Saturday. It needs to be next Saturday.
So not this Saturday then.
Not this Saturday. Next one. Okay. All
right. So it will be next Saturday. Okay. Not a problem. And I can't wait. I wonder what game you're going to be playing.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then let's give a shout out to our sponsors. Of course, you go over to Cover Price. You get 30 days of unlimited Cover Price for only 99 cents by typing in the code NERDVANA14. Go check them out. Get your free subscription or 99-cent subscription. And then go over to Bird City Comics to get your 10% off your purchase by using the code TNH10 at checkout. And of course, to protect all your toys and video games, save 10% off your first purchase with the code Team Nerd Herd. All right. I think that is it.
All right.
Excuse me.
Good show. Can't wait for next week.
I can't wait either. Thank you, Charlie, so much. Do you have anything anything to promote or last thing to say?
For now, let's see if you want to do it right. watch what you like. Team Nerd Herd for life.
Right? Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next week. Hopefully we'll be doing this every week. We
Yes,
love
sir.
our show. So
Yes. Yes.
I can't wait to talk about everything new in the world of pop culture and geekhood and geekdom and nerdisms and whatever.
All that stuff. Love
Yes,
it.
all that
Let's
stuff.
do it. Let's do
All
it.
right, people. Thank you so much and have a great evening.
Peace. Good night.
Laters.